a good timing though for him to have a stop in Montreal where he's coming from?
Yeah, well, he's done a lot of things really well. Like, and it's we talk a lot about last year and the adjustment that he had to make, but he's a real good hockey player and he's an important piece of our team. So when he's moving his feet and he's controlling the puck, he's a real good player, and that'll come.
Is he still adjusting, you think?
I think the adjustment part of it's done. Now it's about kind of finding his way consistently. I think that's the most important thing now.
You had to.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
You go ahead. You go ahead.
But you had to have a talk with him maybe after the benching incident and whatnot.
We talk all the time. Like, that's not just a one-off thing for us. We have conversations almost every day. Yeah.
You had him on the line with Michael Backlund and Blake Coleman at practice today. What was the thinking of that?
I think when you're putting your lines together based on your opponents that you're playing against, Michael sees a lot of minutes against good lines, and I think that the way Michael and Coles are playing will allow Jonathan to be himself a little bit more. Yeah.
I know you're probably tired to talk about Rubello and the incident of being benched in the third period, but as a rookie coach, was it in a certain way a gutsy call or a risky call?
I don't think so. I mean, I think because we work on building relationships with the players, unfortunately, you never want to see it happen. You don't ever want to put a player in that situation, but when you're trying to win hockey games, sometimes that's the way it goes. Players don't have their A game every single night, and whether you're Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux or Jonathan Huberdeau, it happens every once in a while. It's how you respond is the most important thing, and I think he's done a good job with that.
Can I ask you about Jacob Markstrom and
Yeah.
what you were kind of keeping an eye on there in terms of whenever he makes his return? Are you seeing, the signs you need to see?
Yeah, he looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we talked about starting this road trip, I think this team had a lot of momentum coming into it. What's the significance of making sure you kind of finish the way that you entered?
I think there's still some momentum for us. Like, we had a tough period in the third period in Ottawa, but other than that, we did some good things in the first two periods. So 3 of our last 4 games, we feel like we've played well. We've given ourselves chances. There's been moments or lapses within those games that we have to eliminate from our play. But now it's shifting gears again and getting ourselves ready and excited for tomorrow night.
Obviously, there was a lot of work throughout this practice, but some special teams time too. What are you seeing right now in terms of those units on the power play specifically?
Yeah, we're trying to find something that works, but I think it's more about finding an identity for it too. So we're trying to get it to be a little quicker with what it's doing, a little bit more aggressive with shooting the puck. So we got to continue to work on it, and I think that's always something that needs to be touched on and dealt with every day. And then once you get yourself to the point where everybody understands what they're looking to do, or becomes a little bit more predictable to each other, then it'll start gaining some traction.
There's still one more game left to go on this road trip with tomorrow, but what have you made of how Connor Zary, Dustin Wolf, Martin Pospisil have fit in with the group so far and how they've conducted themselves on and off the ice?
I think they fit in really well, all 3 of them. I think the guys with the Wranglers have done an excellent job in making sure they were ready to play. And I think our group has fed off their confidence that they have a little bit, so all 3 of them have done a good job.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge so far as a rookie coach?
That's a good question. You don't ever envision us starting the season with our record the way it is, and it's making sure that we're getting guys to understand what we're looking for out of them without them, starting to lose faith or bad body language or bad attitude, stuff like that. It's finding a way to keep them focused and driven and get them to recognize they're doing a lot of things the right way, and we just want to make sure we stay consistent with that.
Would you say it's a bit easier for you because you were in the organization before and you knew those guys before?
I think it helps for sure. I've already been fortunate enough to build relationships with a lot of them, so I think when you have to have hard conversations, it's easier when people know where you're coming from. So I do think it's helped for sure.